guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is the all-awaited video that I've been meaning to record for, of course, as soon as I sit down to record this, he starts making noise. Okay, this has been an awaited video. My birth story, as you can tell by the title. I'm finally sitting down to record this. I've got about 40 minutes until I have to wake him up, so let's just hope I can get through this. Keep me on the schedule. I'm already going off on a tangent, but anyways, I'm 1 month postpartum, and the reason why this video has come later than I really planned to is because I was just kind of trying to get used to motherhood. It's a whole new experience, obviously, a whole new thing that I don't think you can ever really prepare for motherhood. Same way you never can really prepare to be pregnant, and you never can prepare for a baby. And so as much as you want to, you can do all your studies and you can do all the reading and ask all the questions and all that stuff, but once you actually go through it, it's really hard. And I've been dealing with some postpartum depression and just a lot. We have a lot going on in our lives right now as far as Damien and all that stuff, which I will talk all about my postpartum depression. I have a whole podcast, if you guys don't know, about mental health. It's called Because Life with Sydel, and I'll leave the link for it in the description box below. And there will be an episode in the new year about my postpartum experience. And so yeah, if you want to keep up with that or listen to that, then make sure you're subscribed to my podcast. It's again Because Life with Sydel. It's on any podcast platform that you can think of, and you can listen to that there. But yeah, so that's why this video is coming a month late. Baby boy is actually 4 weeks and 5 days today, and so we are just now getting, kind of in a bit of a rhythm or a bit of a schedule. But again, he could wake up any minute now, so let me just get to the story. So let me rewind back 4 weeks and 5 days ago. 4 weeks and 4 days ago, it was Thanksgiving, and long story short, I went over my due date, and I knew I was probably gonna go over my due date, which was kind of unfortunate because we wanted him to come a little bit early, maybe 2 weeks early really, because Damien was going to be in town during those weeks, and on my due date, the Warriors were on a 10-day road trip to the East Coast, so the furthest they could actually be from the Bay Area. So we wanted to try to get him to come early. We tried to induce labor all the natural ways, but he was just really just settled in there. He was very comfortable taking his sweet time. And so at my doctor's appointments, my 48-week doctor's appointment, she had suggested that, we're not going to put you past me. We're not going to take me past 41 weeks. Because the baby is an IVF baby, they just have more likely that they'll go into distress if they're in the uterus or in the womb later than 41 weeks. Just wanted to be careful. So we always planned to induce no later than 41 weeks. I knew that leading up to it. I didn't say anything about it because I just didn't want the pressure. People were already asking me is the baby here, is baby here? And I just wanted to kind of live in the moments and prepare as much as I could during those last few weeks. So I didn't tell anyone that I was going to be induced at some point, but I knew it was going to happen. I just had a feeling. And so thankfully, he waited till Damien got back from the road trip, and we actually hosted Thanksgiving here at our house. And I was going to be induced the night of Thanksgiving. My appointment to check in was at 11 p.m. on the 25th of November. Which was a really nice thing, having Thanksgiving here and having our family here, and then being kind of sent off by our family because they were still here when we left. It was pretty cool. It was pretty cool just to be here as a family. We've gone through this whole IVF process, this whole trying to conceive process, everything with our family, and so it was just nice to have them here, and they kind of sent us off. We were a little late because CP time. We were a little late, but we got to the hospital at 12 o'clock, so November 26th, 12 a.m. in the morning, and checked in. I had to get a COVID test again because my COVID test that I took 2 weeks prior to my due date had expired, so I had to get the brain tickle, which was not fun, but you know, we got through it. And then we checked in and it was time to get this induction going. Now I will say that I was kind of upset that I would have to be a little bit upset that I would have to be induced. As you guys know, I've talked about this a lot. I had a doula, and I wanted that. My whole point of getting a doula, well, 2 points was I wanted to labor at home as long as possible. That was like one of my big things. I wanted to walk stairs. I wanted to be very active and very mobile at home for as long as possible, and the doula was going to help us do that. And then I wanted to go without an epidural, and I know that from what I've watched in my research, doulas are very, very, very clutch when you're trying to go with no epidural, because they can kind of talk you through breathings and different things to do to like minimize pain or like pain control. And also, like, I heard that once you get to the point of like it's almost time to push, you're going to, you know, ask for the epidural. And I know that doulas are kind of in tune with that, and they can be like, you know what, you're right there, like go ahead, like you're at the hardest part, keep pushing through. So I wanted someone who knew what they were doing, could advocate for me. You guys know I talked about this, but because I was getting induced, the whole idea of me laboring at home just went out the window. And then also the whole idea for me of getting no epidural went out the window as well, because I always heard that, you know, induction or induced contractions are the worst. Like, they're just so hard to get through. And so as soon as I heard the word induction, I just was like, well, there goes my whole birth wishes, or all my birth wishes. But we'll just go with that. I want the baby to be here healthy and safe, and I want myself to be healthy and safe. So we check in, and this is the video that we took when we checked in. So here we are in the hospital. This is me and Damien having our baby. I'm getting induced. It is the day after Thanksgiving officially. It's like 1 o'clock in the morning. I got my IV. Took it like a champ, right? Damien's probably what, he hungover? No. Yeah, you are. Yeah, dude was enjoying his Thanksgiving very much. Just to take the edge off. Had a couple of drinks. Don't blame him at all. This is a lot. There's a lot going on.
If I sleep in this, you think the sticker's gonna come off?
Just take it off. Use a blanket.
It's cold.
Use a blanket. I put a blanket in your bag.
Oh, you did?
Yes, I did.
Oh, sweet.
We had Thanksgiving at our house, which was like, who made the point that we were all together during this whole process, and it was only right that we...
I don't know. Someone brought it up.
Aisha, maybe? I think it was Aisha. Mentioned how, like, this has been like a whole, like, family thing, like getting to the baby and all that kinds of stuff. Like, they've been supportive and are a huge support system. It's only right that we would get a send-off Thanksgiving, had family dinner, all that kinds of stuff. Fam really held it down. So here we are.
Shout out to the mothers.
Yes. How are you?
Shout out to the fam.
How are you feeling?
Decent. How you feel?
Fine. I'm a little nervous.
I'm a little sleepy.
I'm a little nervous. So,
Trying to take a cat nap.
I'm currently fingertip dilated. Fingertip, which is, I didn't cry. Like, that to me is progress, because last time I got checked, I was at closed completely. Now I'm fingertip, 50% effaced, and at -2 station. And they're gonna start me on Sydel, which they kept just saying, like, obviously everyone's different, but they're like, this could be a long process. Maybe you can go play tomorrow. Let me not joke with you about that, because you really would. You really would go play. Like it doesn't take up the whole day. But I might be on Sydel for 24 hours. Lord, have mercy. We'll see what happens. Anyways.
Lord, have mercy.
This is the beginning of everything, so here we go.
Big naps coming soon.
Friends on. Anyways, see y'all in the next
All right,
update.
y'all. See y'all when we look at you.
And so basically when I checked in and they checked me, I was a fingertip dilated, and a fingertip dilated, 50% effaced, and at station -2. I could go into explaining that, but I'm on a time limit. So I think everyone knows what dilation means, but if you want to know what effacement and stations are, then you gotta go look that up. Pause the video and go Google it. So they were like, well, you're not really that dilated, so we're gonna do a Sydel for you. And basically Sydel is supposed to help like open the cervix and not really start contractions that much, but it's just really supposed to open the cervix just a little bit, at least to 3 centimeters. And the doctor came in and she was like, you can have 2 doses of Sydel and we keep both in for 12 hours at least. So she's like, we're gonna put the first one in, have it in for at least 12 hours. And then if you need to go more, if you're not at 3 centimeters or whatever, you need to go more, then we'll put another one in another 12 hours. So she was like, get comfortable. You're gonna be here for a while. You know, like it could be at least 24 hours. And she was like, some people are faster than others, but I don't wanna get your hopes up. Just get comfortable and get some rest tonight, because I hadn't slept since the morning of Thanksgiving, and this is not the next morning, 12 a.m. So get rest, put the Sydel in, and we'll keep going. So they put it in. It's about 2 o'clock in the morning when they put it in. Damien gets all set up in his bed. I'm all set up in my bed, and I have friends on the TV, and I'm like getting comfortable, ready to sleep. And it's about 15 minutes go by. Damien's knocked out, and I just like start feeling like contractions, like these are contractions, and I'm like instantly like, how can anybody sleep through this? Like I'm in pain. I'm having to like not like breathe through them, but like I feel them, and I'm just kind of like, okay, this is, I don't know if I'm supposed to feel this like this much, but I definitely feel something. And so it's to the point where I couldn't really like sleep that much. So I turned on my iPad and I turned on Gilmore Girls, because Gilmore Girls is like my comfort show. Friends is too, but the sound was weird. It just was, because the way the hospitals are set up, the speakers are in like the little remote thing, and I couldn't really hear it, and I was trying to be quiet for Damien, so I just grabbed my iPad, put on Gilmore Girls, put my headphones in, and thought that maybe that would help me go to sleep, because I go to sleep to Gilmore Girls right now during that time every night. And no, there was no sleep happening. I was just kind of like, with every hour it just kept getting more intense and more intense. And the nurse would come in and she's like, you really need to get some rest, like you're not sleeping at all. And I thought that I was crazy. I thought that, like, you know, I'm a wimp because these are kind of hurting really badly and I should be sleeping. It shouldn't be hurting this bad for me not to be sleeping, because she just kept saying like, you need to get some rest, like girl, go to sleep. And I'm like, I'm trying, but I can't. And so then I don't really know the times, by the way, because as soon as I started feeling those contractions, everything went out my brain. I had every intention to vlog throughout the whole thing, but because it was so early in the morning and Damien was sleeping, I was contracting, like the last thing on my mind was pulling out the camera. So sorry if I don't have specific times when everything was happening, but I do remember at some point, maybe a few hours later, maybe 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning, I was then starting to have to like grab the sides of like the bed and just really breathe through these contractions. Again, not like crippling pain, but just like, and I didn't want to wake up Damien because he was still sleeping, and I thought that I was like, this is going to be a long process. I don't want him to wake up. I don't want him to wake up right now and then be like extremely tired when it's time for me to push or whatever, because I really need him during the pushing process. So the nurse comes in and she sees me like breathing, like having to breathe through these, and she's like, okay, like you're really, I think they had switched nurses at this point, and she's like, okay, you're really like feeling these, aren't you? And I'm like, yeah, I am. And she goes, okay, so we're gonna bring in the doctor. I'm gonna take the Sydel out. And I think this was around like 9 o'clock. Damien was up at this point, and they had brought in breakfast, and I was like, food? What food? I don't want food. That's disgusting, because I could still eat at this point. She said, remember the doctor in, and she's gonna check you. This is about 9 hours. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Oh, never mind. It was 11 o'clock. I had the Sydel in for 9 hours. At that point, they were like, we need to take it out and check you because you're breathing pretty hardly and your contractions are really close together. I'm like, okay. So they take it out, checks me, and I'm at a 3. which they were all like shook because again, they kept telling me at least 12 hours or at least 24 hours. Early at least 12, but like the most 24 on the Sydel, and then we'll go after that, maybe Pitocin or whatever, keep things going. But because I was already at a 3 after 9 hours, they were like, oh, okay, so your body was ready. It just needed a little bit of a kickstart. So I'm like, okay. And at this point, guys, like, I was in pain. So she brought in and I had really bad back pain, like really bad back pain. So she brought in a heating pad for me, which was really helpful. So basically I would and I changed from the bed, and now I'm like in the rocking chair that was in the room. So I'm in the rocking chair and with the heat pad on my back, and I'm just laboring, contracting, breathing like crazy and on the rocking chair. And then whenever a really bad contraction would come, I would stand up and I would lean over the little serving tray that they have in the hospitals, over the serving tray, and I would just sway and breathe and sway and breathe. And Damien would apply pressure to my back and pray, yeah, too, but breathe and sway and sit back down when it was over. So mind you that, so I had been laboring pretty intensely, like really no rest from 2:15 to 11, maybe 12 o'clock. Yeah, like 12 o'clock. And I was exhausted. I was so tired. I just remember thinking like, I don't know if I can push. I'm exhausted. And so I called my doula because she said that she wasn't going to come with induction. She doesn't come until 6-7 centimeters. And so she was like, it's going to take a while, so I'll come a little later in the process. But at this point I call her because the nurse came in and she's like, you look really tired. Here are your options for pain management. And these options for pain management that aren't the epidural, the F word, which is fentanyl. Then I don't know if I'm allowed to say that on camera or on YouTube right now. And morphine, I'm gonna call them F and M. Those are the two options they gave me, and you can use the M one, M and F at a certain point. Once you get past a certain point of dilation, you can't use it any after. But the M lasts 3 hours, and the F you can use a little bit later in dilation, and that lasts 30 minutes, and you can get multiple doses of that. I think you get up to like 5 or maybe 5 or 7. So she was like, with the morphine though, you're gonna have to get that, it's intramuscular, and you're gonna have to get that like in your thigh or in your butt. And if you know me, I hate needles. I know I did IVF, I know I had to get a needle in me every day for like 2 weeks, but I hate needles. So I was like really hesitant on getting the M because I didn't want another like I didn't want an intramuscular shot because those needles are just, they're thick and they're big. And so then I was like, can I just get the F? And she was like, I don't think you're dilated enough for the F. It's like, well, can you just put the M like right in my my IV, because I already have a needle in me, or I already have that in me right now. And she was like, it has to go in the leg. And so I called my doula, and I'm just like on the phone, laboring, contracting very painfully and swaying. And she's like, Sydel, I really think you need to get the M. Like, you need some rest. You haven't had any rest. She was like, one thing to note is that the M and the F aren't going to take away the pain. You're still gonna feel the contractions. You're still gonna feel all of the intensity that comes from that, but it will give you rest in between. It'll take away the anxiety and the buildup, the anxiety from the buildup of having another contraction. And so she kind of like was like, Sydel, if you wanna push and you wanna have energy to push, you need to get the M. And I said, okay, fine, I'll get the M. Whatever, give me the M. So the nurse is like, okay, but let me go check with the doctor right now, because the way your body language is and the way your contractions are, because I wasn't getting really any rest in between contractions, really. She's like, I want to make sure that you're still at the right amount of dilation. Mind you, I wasn't getting checked. I got checked once at this point, and I didn't want to get checked that often either, because I'll tell you in a minute, but they didn't know how dilated I was. They were just going off my body language and my contractions and looking at the monitors. Baby's doing fine, by the way. He's like killing it in there. He's just like, I'm strong, I'm healthy and ready to go. The nurse comes back and she's like, actually the doctor looked at your contractions and she thinks you're too far along for the M, so get the F. And I'm like, oh, thank God. Like, good thing me, procrastinating and like being really indecisive on if I wanted to get the M. Good thing I was like putting that off, because now I can just get the F and get that right into my IV and we're good to go. So I tell my doula, like, okay, I'm gonna get the F now. And again, I'm not saying it as calmly as I am now. Like, I'm contracting so intensely at this point. I can't even explain it. And so she's like, okay, good, get the F. And also, I'm gonna come to the hospital. I'm coming now. So she lives an hour away from the hospital. So she's like, I'll be there in 2 hours. So they give me the F. And immediately I'm still in the rocking chair, and I'm still feeling these contractions. The contractions don't get any less intense or any less painful, but after the contraction's over, I'm knocked out. Like, I'm in the chair. I could just feel my body just kind of relax, finally relax, and I'm like passed out. And then I feel the build up again, and I'm wide awake, breathing through these contractions, swaying through these contractions, moaning, deep moaning through these contractions. One thing I will tell you is, if you are contracting painfully, deep moan. Like, this is awkward, but like deep moan, because that helped me so much. Just push the energy energy down. And like, when you moan high, you're using a lot of energy, and it's just not helping. But if you deep moan and just that, it helps. I will say that. And so at this point, I'm like tired of the rocking chair. Contractions are getting even more and more intense. So we move to the shower. And so we go to the shower, and they have like a stool in the shower, and like a hand sprayer thingy. So I'm sitting and I'm kind of leaning over, contracting. Damien's got the water on my back. Let me just say this one thing. Damien, great. He was so great throughout my whole labor and delivery. He was amazing. He even knew what I needed before I even needed it. One time I was going through a contraction and I needed him to come press on my back. And he's like, okay, I'm getting you some water. I'm like, I don't need water. Come over here right now. And he's like, okay. Puts the water down, and then he comes push on my back, and after the contraction's over, I'm like, can I have some water, please? He was great. Like, he was so good, so supportive of everything. So I'm in the shower, and he's got the spray on my back, and I look at him, I'm like, Damien, I don't know if I can do this. Like, I think I might need to get the epidural. And he's like, babe, whatever you need, like, just do what you need. But you're doing so great. He kept telling me, like, I'm doing so great, I'm so strong, all this stuff. I just kept saying, I don't know if I can do this, I don't know if I can do this. So I'm in the shower for about, I think it's about like 12, or I'm in the shower for maybe an hour at this point. And my doula shows up, and she's like, okay, like, we're really in this. And by this point, like, my water hadn't broken, I hadn't lost my mucus plug yet. All of the things that you would think, like, okay, labor's started or whatever, none of that had happened at this point. So she's like, she's helping me still breathe through it, helping me, like, they're both helping me through it, breathing. And then I'm like, all right, I'm tired, I want to get out of the shower. Like, I'm wet, I don't like it, I want to get out of the shower. And as soon as I stand up, they're like, oh, your mucus plug. So I start losing my mucus plug, and I wanted to see it. Like, I was just really curious about what my mucus plug looked like. But the nurse was like, it's okay, don't look. I think she thought I was like gonna be mortified, but I was actually really interested to see what that looked like. And it was just like mucusy blood, pretty much. And I'm losing it as I'm walking back to the bed, putting a new robe on, drying off. It's contracting, like, it's getting really intense. And they're like, okay, there's some stuff going on here. So then my actual OB, she always said she was going to deliver, because at this point I'd just been dealing with, I just had the on-call OBs come in and check on me, but my doctor always said, like, I'm gonna be there to birth your baby. Like, don't worry, I'll be there to birth your child. So she comes, I think they had called her when they called my doula. And when my doula said she was coming, they had called my doctor and was like, you need to come in too now. My doctor gets there, I'm deeply contracting, like, whew, on the table, still thinking, like, I don't know if I can do this, like, this is intense. It's about 2 o'clock now, and my doctor comes and she's like, Sydel, can I check you? And I'm like, I really don't want fingers in me right now, but I guess she gotta check me. Actually, you know what? I really can't remember if it was the on-call doctor or if it was my actual doctor. I don't know, you guys. Everything was such a blur. Sorry if this birth story is like all over the place, but I don't remember a whole lot. I should have actually had Damien come in here and do this birth story with me. I'm sure I'll clear up some questions in the future. But I'm pretty sure they checked me, worst pain, which is why I was so happy I did not get checked a whole lot. I got checked twice throughout my whole, I believe just twice throughout my whole labor and delivery, because having a contraction and getting your cervix checked, don't recommend. Don't recommend at all. Don't recommend. I just like, I'm not trying to scare anybody either, but for me, no. And they checked me. I was 8 centimeters, 100% of face, and I think he was at station 1. And they're like, okay, we're having a baby very soon. So the whole idea of me getting epidural out the window. I don't think I actually was ever gonna get it either. I think I was just like, I kept saying it, I guess, to think it was an option. But at that point, they were like, all right, we need to get the doctor here. We need to get everything set up because you're gonna have this baby very soon. So just to take you back, I had went from a fingertip dilated to 8 centimeters dilated in 12 hours. Which really, when I originally got there, they were like, you'll maybe get to a 3 in 12 hours. But I went from the fingertip to 8. When they said that to me though, when they were like, you're 8 centimeters dilated, I'm like, God, I got 2 more centimeters to go. Like, they're all, baby's gonna be here soon. I'm like, shut up, no he's not. Like, I have a long time to go doing this. And at this point, my mom had showed up. Damien's mom had showed up in the room. Don't know how they got there. And I'm on like my hands and I'm turned around on the bed and I'm on my hands and knees and I'm just like contracting and breathing and deep moaning and just trying to survive at this point. Like, you see my movements. Like, this is like, I'm literally there right now. I'm gonna say it. I did it. I pooped on the bed. Now, by the way, when I got out of the shower, I started throwing up. And I always heard that that was a sign that you're like almost there when you start vomiting. Sorry, I keep looking at my phone because I want to make sure that I'm on time because my boobies are kind of telling me some things, but I want to make sure I'm still on time. I threw up after I got out of the shower, and again, like I said, I knew that was a telltale that you're right, that you're kind of right there. And Damien would say at the end of like this whole labor experience, he was like, your body really does just like let go of everything. Like, it just releases everything that's inside of it, because I vomited, pooped on the table, and it was a room full of people. And I was like, I'm so sorry. And they were all like, no, it's totally fine. The nurses just kind of scoop in there and scoop out, and it really wasn't that big of a deal. So if you're nervous about pooping on the table, it's okay. You're about to like birth a whole human being. Some stuff's bound to come out, especially if you're pushing the right way. So I'm on my hands and knees and I'm like, oh my gosh, I need to push. I need to push. And they're like, okay, you can push, like try some pushes. I think I started pushing at 2:30. My doctor had gotten there by now, and I have some footage of me pushing.
You ready? Get this, grab these legs, honey. Okay? Okay.
Do it.
Deep breath in. And go for it. There you go.
That's it. That's it.
Okay.
Go, go, go. Yes.
Amazing.
That's it.
There you go.
Down and hard. Good. Just
There
like that.
you
Same spot.
go.
Exactly there.
There.
Exactly there, Mama. You're doing it. One more.
That's it. That's perfect. That's perfect. That's perfect.
Yeah, you're doing so great. You're doing it. He's going.
Yep. Keep it up. Keep it up.
Good job.
Oh, yes.
It's okay. Yeah, it's okay. Let this one go.
Gain your strength, okay? You're doing perfect, okay? You're at the finish line, Mama. We can see his head.
Do you want to touch? Or you have to? I'd like.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. You're so close, honey. You're so close.
You finish everything you said.
You have to finish this. Okay.
So now you know exactly what to do. Whatever you're doing is working, okay?
Do you want this one that's higher? You're doing everything. You're doing
it just does it.
It's a process. They go 2 steps forward, 1 step back.
Sucks back. And then he frowns and then he goes.
Yeah, so you're doing it. We see the movement with every push. We see the movement.
That going in her ear.
Sorry. You're right. There we go. There we go. Deep breath in. Take a deep breath. There you go. That's it. That's it. That's it.
Right
That's
there.
it.
Keep it coming.
Good.
Good job, Mama.
And again, go right back at it. There you go. Gorgeous. Ouch. Okay. Ouch. Yeah. I know, I don't mind. There it is. There it is. There it is. Are you feeling some burning now? A little? Yeah.
Oh, everything
Everything. You want to look in the mirror? No. Okay. Dress, Sydel.
All right, let's get it. Touch him, okay? Not catch
Okay,
him.
let's break down the bed.
He was like, you are so funny.
Alright.
He's right there, sweetheart. Yeah, blow, 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 blow. Watch your hands. When the baby's head is really crowning, which is going to be soon, you're going to feel some stretching, burning feeling, okay? It's not going to feel good, okay? Just you push into it, we'll be done. Okay? Okay. Okay. There you go. That's it, honey. That's it right there. Right there. Deep breath in and go right back to it. There you go. That's it. That's it. That's it. Side and hard. Put the baby down there. You got this. You got this. Take a deep breath. That's it. Beautiful.
Ouch!
Listen, careful. Yeah, Dr. Wilcox says. All right, honey, you got this. You keep pushing when you're ready. When you're ready. That's it. That's it.
You're doing it, Sydel.
You do it again. Go again. Yep. Whatever. Yeah. That's it. It's beautiful. You're doing it. You're doing it. You got this. There you go. Deep breath. Got a deep breath in. One more. Take a deep breath. There you go. There you go. Gorgeous. Yeah. That's it. He's coming. All right. And push one more time. Push one more time. There's the hip. Let's get the legs open. Put this hip back.
Roll your hair
back.
Look at me. Look down. Look down at your baby.
You got this. Big deep breath and push for me when you're ready. And go.
Open your eyes. He's here. He's here. He's here.
Strong lady.
Incredible. Hi, sweetie. I'm crying. Put your fingers in his nose. Congratulations, honey. Congratulations.
He's mad though.
He's out.
Oh.
You can get in there. Yeah, you tell us about it.
So, I don't really know what all like happened in between there, but as you guys can see what happened in the pushing process and baby boy being here. I remember in the video you could hear someone saying, oh, it's 3 o'clock, because at around 2:30 someone said, oh, this baby's gonna be here by 3. And as soon as I heard someone say, oh, it's 3 o'clock, I was like, oh no, I can't push any longer. Like, no, we're gonna get this baby out right now. And he was born at 3:02. So I was determined. I pushed for 32 minutes. It was the most empowering thing that I've ever experienced. I'm gonna start crying. It was the most empowering thing I've ever experienced my entire life. Like the fact that I pushed my baby out with no epidural, and I felt every part of him come out, but not in like a bad way. It actually, pushing probably was like the easiest part for me. Like it was the least painful part. The ring of fire is kind of true, but it lasts for like a second, and then you just keep pushing until you feel nothing at all. What I was most nervous about was the easiest thing and the most beautiful thing in the world. Like having my baby on me was, oh, it was just so, it was so great. I don't know, I don't even know how to describe it, but it was such a beautiful moment, and I was so proud of myself. I was proud of Daxon, having him just do so well throughout all of that, maintain a good heartbeat, just maintain, like, he was just so strong through all of that. And having Daxon like on me and finally crying and like looking at Damien, look at us, like it was just such a beautiful moment. That is my baby boy. I'm so happy he's here, and I'm so proud of myself for doing it. You guys, I think I talked to you guys a lot about like how nervous I was about giving birth and wanting to do it without an epidural, and I'm so proud of myself for doing it. I 100% am so happy. I had my doula. She was such a calming voice. She helped me through the end of where the pain is just, whoa. She helped me through all of that. She was just very calming. She had this great fan that had some rose oil on it that was just smelled amazing, and it was very cooling, and she was awesome. So shout out to her. Her name is Janae. If you're in the Bay Area and you want a really good doula, her name is Janae. I'll leave all her info in the comments below, or in the description box below. You can check her out. So post-birth, I did have some minor hemorrhaging, which my doctor did a really great job at like concealing how serious it was. One thing I do remember is like her sticking her whole forearm into my body and trying to scrape out. That was awful. I can still feel that to this day. That actually might go hand in hand with contractions, with like 8-centimeter contractions. And then I did have a 2nd-degree tear, but the recovery has been easy. My hemorrhaging stopped. I did have to get a catheter for like 12 hours post-birth, just to make sure that everything was good. I don't really know exactly why I had it, but I did have to get a catheter. My bleeding, again, I'm 4 weeks postpartum, so everything's been healing well. Again, I think I talked to you guys here about how I was scared to tear. I didn't feel a tear. I felt a head come out, but I didn't feel a tear. I didn't feel stitches. They do give, and because I had no pain medicine, that's probably why also her scooping my insides hurt, because I could feel all of that. She did give me lidocaine when she stitched me up. That didn't, it felt like a prick, like a little prick with lidocaine, and then I didn't feel any of the stitching. Yeah, and then we went into the room, the recovery room. We were there for 2 days. He latched well. We're still breastfeeding to this day. It's difficult. Breastfeeding is really hard, but I'll talk about that another day. And again, like a huge shout out to my husband. He was so amazing. He was so amazing. I could not have done this without him. He was like a perfect combination of like, I could feel his presence, but it wasn't overbearing. And like, I needed that. I needed him to like, I don't know how to describe like feeling his presence, but not feeling like he was doing too much. He was perfect. So yeah, I think that's pretty much all I have right now. My doctors were amazing. The nurses were amazing. Everyone was so great helping us throughout the whole situation. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. If you have any questions about anything about my birth story, or if I had to go through anything, or if I experienced anything that I might have forgotten, just ask in the comments below and I will be sure to answer them. But again, thank you so much for joining me on this journey. There's more to come as we get into the rhythm and the groove of all of this, of motherhood and babyhood and all this stuff. But it's been a wild ride. I've loved every part of it. Every part has been difficult. Not gonna lie, but I've loved it, and I love having him, and I can't wait for him to wake up so I can feed him and we can have some tummy time, and then he can go back to a nap. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Stay tuned for more videos, and much love and some encouragement to those of you that are watching this that are nervous about birth, or wanting to do the no epidural, or wanting to do epidural, or whatever. You can do it. Your body was made for it. Whatever way you want to do it, you can do it. Don't be scared. Don't be nervous. Trust in your ability. Go in there confidently. Trust your baby. Give positive vibes to your baby. Speak life into your womb, and everything will be okay. Much love. See you guys in the next video.